And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood.
So I think, all right, so breaking it down into what I agree and what I disagree with. So the disagreeing for me came with the starting with the infertility and the market value, the appreciating. So with the infertility, I know I said this yesterday, some stuff is science, right? You can't get around that. But I feel like when you start with that and you lead with that, it then makes people get defensive and they don't even hear the rest of it. I know when I first listened to it, I was like, oh God, this is going to be another one of those conversations where like someone's telling me as a woman, by the time you get this age, your life is over. And you know, when you're like trying to figure things out and you're like, I'm 31 years old, right? Like I'm recently out of a very long relationship.
She belongs to the streets.
Don't worry, there's life after. Go ahead, sis.
I know, but that's my point. It's like, for me, I made a very conscious decision with a lot of things in my life. Going to college, being in the relationship that I was in, not being in that relationship, even with my like recent, you know, back and forth to East Coast, West Coast. Like I've always had to be very conscious and cognizant of the fact that like, you know, as a woman, as a black woman, right, especially working in the space that I work in, I might not get that.
We don't give a fuck. Jesus. We don't give a fuck.
It makes it where now I am defensive. I don't want to watch, listen, and learn. I don't hear the rest of what you're saying. So now I'm not being taught, and I should feel like I can listen to you and learn from you and not feel like you're the op, right? And that's how it starts off when you instantly are telling me everything negative about what I already am facing every single day. And I think that that's a big part of it too, is like when you put certain truths in front of people, it hurts. People don't want to hear it. Sure. But beyond that, like you can't get around the infertility. The second thing was the market value, right? I don't agree. Like, I don't know where you were at 31, but
some people are really fucking stupid.
Just because you put two big ones out and let's
Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over. And I ain't playing, nigga.
And I saying this in the most respectful way, I think that the way that you approach things, like even this conversation right now, it can make it does that. It dilutes the whole point of like
for you,
you're talking
Lauren.
to me specifically
Yeah,
right
you
now.
said you agreed with Eboni though.
I agree with certain parts of it, but I think that my whole point in what I'm saying, right? Because right now I feel like you're taking what I didn't agree with and
Some people are really fucking stupid.
I don't know how productive it is to be the time, manner, and delivery police, right? So when we talk about, and also the nature of this work that we all do in this space of media and journalism, whatever we want to call it, right? It's very subjective in nature. So for everybody, Lauren, that takes your position, which is very valid, it was visceral to me. I found it triggering. It felt hurtful. I felt attacked. I felt policed. I felt shitted on, whatever it is. There's also a whole nother contingency of black women that felt seen by that commentary, that felt heard. I had sorors coming up to me. We had a fundraiser. Shout out to the Pi Kappa Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Shiiiii. We had a fundraiser that very night that commentary dropped. And I had sorors coming up to me who are more in my age group, right? Because that's the first thing we need to acknowledge. Yeah. Lauren and I are not the same age. Mm-hmm. There's a good 10 years between me and this lovely young lady. Mm-hmm. So I'm speaking from a purview of experience that looks a bit different. Not vastly so, but a bit different.
I agree.
And my peers who are 40 and up are like, I wish someone would have told me. And the fact that you are doing the labor, Eboni, you are doing the service of letting young girls that are currently in position to put themselves in best practices because they are currently in school or graduate school or shortly thereafter matters. And it's good that somebody is rolling up their sleeves and doing the work and having the conversation publicly that quiet as kept. Many personality that I'd never had because no one ever told me, and they're seeing it as the glass half full.
And I love that for them. But do you feel like the blogs and a lot of people that reported on it picked it up that way?
I think the LA Times did.
And I feel like what Eboni just said now is very important. All Eboni is saying is this isn't ideal. And you don't want you don't want folks to have to necessarily go through this.
For me,
let me just reiterate that because that's very important because these stakes are very high, Lauren. I'm $50,000 into IVF journey by myself. So I don't have a husband splitting that with me, which there's reasons why that's preferable for me. But I really need people to hear that. And I'm taking shots and I'm giving them to myself, and I'm doing all this to bring life into this world.
Yeah.
And I don't take it lightly because it's a very serious thing. So I think when we were very cavalier, not just you, right, but in general with, oh, just IVF or, oh, just marry outside the race. Obviously, been there, done that too.
Oh, I ain't doing that.
Well, I heard some Snow King commentary.
Someone has to fucking flip the bird.
I just wanted to make a quick compilation about Eboni K. Williams and, going to the Breakfast Club and pretty much, laying down the law to these young women and telling them what they should know, to get further. I mean, Kevin Samuels wasn't being listened to at the end of the day. So hopefully these women could listen to Ebony K and get a little bit further in their career and their personal life and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to constantly see these women fight and wrestle and try to not listen to people that's actually speaking the truth to them and trying to tell them the truth out here about their personal situations and their personal choices that can affect the society as a whole in a negative way. So I'm glad that Ebony K is finally speaking out. She took a lot of points from Kevin Samuels. She took a lot of stuff that Kevin Samuels been saying. And I mean, the manosphere itself, because there's plenty of people she could have stole that stuff from. But at the end of the day, as long as somebody's just throwing it out there and constantly telling people the truth about relationships and, moving forward in life, because I mean, this is one of the important points that needs to be said, that by 40, you need to be making a decision on what you need to be doing, as far as who you want to be dealing with and stuff like that, or you're going to end up on the bad end of the deal. So, nobody wants to end up single and mingling at 55 or anything like that, and or doing these inseminations and freezing their eggs and stuff like that, when this could just be a simple decision of listening and trying to find somebody that you could work with and stuff like that. It was just I like her points and I like how she kind of delivered it and how she had to get on these young girls' heads. There's a reason why these older women have to speak up and they have to say something about what's going on right now, because if they keep listening to Sukiani and Ice Spice and all them, then I don't think they're going to be led in the right direction and pursuing their goals in the right way. They end up with a whole lot of OnlyFans and a whole lot of videos about doing this and that in the bedroom, but nothing of substance that people could actually use to further their own situation. So yeah, I'm glad Ebony K decided to speak out, and we need more women that's going to be able to, take the forefront and say what needs to be said. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. This is just a quick little compilation of what Ebony K went on. I mean, when Ebony K went on the Breakfast Club and stuff like that. I appreciate it.